Okay, so you literally cannot make this story up. This story literally just wrote itself, guys. Like, you cannot make this stuff up. What I'm about to tell you is 100% a true story. Welcome to VlogMas. Roll the intro! Alright, so you guys know those like online sites where you could submit the VIN number of your vehicle and a company will give you offers on your car and you get to decide if you want to sell it to them or not? Well, I did that with this car in a couple places just for funsies because I wanted to see what it was worth and what people would be willing to give for this type of car given its history. So I did that. And I'm still debating if I should actually say who this dealership is or not because they are pretty unprofessional, but they do professional work. I was very shocked. It was insane. But this dealership, we're all the way on the West Coast, and this dealership's all the way on the East Coast. This one's all the way in New Jersey. And I submitted all my information to those guys. And, about 2 days later, I got a call back from them. And they wanted more information about the car, wanted more pictures, and, things they wanted to know about the car. They already knew that the car was rebuilt and it was in an accident. So they just wanted some more pictures of it and a breakdown of what the history consisted of. So I sent them a link to some pictures, and they looked it over, and they gave me an offer. The offer was decent. I've gotten better. But it was what they acted like that was the surprising part. Okay, I pulled up with receipts. I have a list of text messages on my laptop here that I have screenshots of, so I can break this down for you guys. They made me an offer, but there was one particular guy at that dealership that I knew of who I particularly wanted to speak with. As a customer, if you're actually going to sell a car to a dealership and there's somebody in particular who you want to talk to, then they should let you talk to them. So for me, I was trying to talk to the guy who runs the whole dealership, and he works there every single day. But the other thing about this dealership is that they have a social media account where they post deals that they're doing with customers. So that's the main reason I wanted to talk to them, is because I wanted to see if they wanted to make a video potentially. That way it could be some sort of a cool collaboration. If the offer was good enough, maybe I would consider doing that with them. But we were still in the talking stages of everything, and I just wanted to talk to them about it. They wouldn't let me talk to him. They were saying that we won't allow you to talk to him, and I was like, literally everybody who goes to his dealership talks to this guy. He's like literally the guy at the front. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit strange. So I kind of just told him, I was just like, well, I have to talk to this guy. I can't go further with anything with you guys. Have I not talked to him? Because since he runs the dealership, I wanted him to know what the condition of the car truly is. I wanted to explain him everything about the car, so they know the whole history of the car. I wanted to make sure that the real guy who runs the dealership, who actually purchases the cars, I wanted him to know the history and everything, make sure that word gets around to him as well. So I wanted to talk to him, and I told him just give him my number and he can call me. And they're like, we're not going to give you his number. I was like, I told you give him my number, not give me his number. I think it's just nicer for me to give them my number rather than them giving me his. So overall, they wouldn't do it that way. So then the guy I was talking with, I just told him, I was like, wait, how about you just put him on the phone then? I could talk to him that way. And then they're like, he's on vacation for 7 days. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, yeah, just call me whenever you get the chance. Then I get a call literally 2 days later. And there's a guy claiming to be him. Maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him. I'm not too sure. 2 days later is strange because they said he was on vacation for the next 7 days, so that was weird. But there he was 2 days later back home. He called me and he talked about the car and everything, and they were interested in it, but he had questions about it and he wanted to know more about it. So I was like, hey, you know what? This car was actually rebuilt on YouTube. There's a whole channel. I can send it to you. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, send it to me and I'll take a look at the rebuild, because I wanted him to see that this car was built correctly and not like in a shady, choppy way, because we don't do things like that. So I wanted to show him that it was built correctly. So he's watching the videos over, right? And then I get a text message back. He's like, watched all the videos, really cool. First of all, thank you, I appreciate that. But then he asked me, how old am I? So I told him how old I was when I started and how old I am currently. And then he just like flat out said, want a job. That caught me off guard. Like, first of all, this dude's all the way on the East Coast. Throughout the whole experience here, they were trying to basically convince me to drop everything and go out there and work for them. And that's like the way that they ask. I like told him, I said, I'm flattered and honored, and I actually couldn't believe that somebody out there would have offered me a job just out of the blue, because they're such, like, I honestly still couldn't believe that. That was pretty cool to me. I was flattered, honestly. That was very cool. But not what I was expecting. Why are they trying to buy me and not the car? I told him, I said, I can't do that. You're all the way in Jersey and I'm on the West Coast. That doesn't make sense. I'm not just gonna drop everything and go out there. And then I was like, okay, how about the car though? We were talking about the car, remember? Then all of a sudden they go, they were so interested in this car. They're making so many offers and everything. But then all of a sudden they go, not interested in the car, but interested in you working for us. I'm like, why are they doing it this way? Like, why are they putting everything on me in such a way? Like it's such a disrespectful way to act. Just completely saying like, oh, you know what? Forget about the car. I just want you. You're mine. I was just so shocked. I was like, this is a real dealership. And they're talking to a customer like this. Like they want, like like they could have asked in a different way, in a nicer way. That way was a little bit rude. Like they could have asked in a way like they could have said that in a different way. Like, oh hey, yeah, we don't want to buy the car at this moment right now, but if you would like, we would like to offer you a job position or something. Not like the way that they said it. I was like, that was pretty rude and flattering. It was a very confusing situation. Like I was like thinking in my head like, okay, I'm flattered, I'm honored, I'm a bit confused, I'm very confused, but you know, I don't know how to feel. I'm feeling very mixed emotions. I'm feeling both confused, a little sad, a little maybe disheartened and disappointed to be treated this way. But also a little bit surprised that they're offering this dealership deals with very expensive cars like Lamborghini SVJs and stuff. So I was pretty flattered and surprised to see that this place was offering me a job just like that. So I was flattered, but at the same time I was like, yo, what the? Ah, got you. I would never curse. But yeah, that was pretty strange to me. But after that had happened, I was like, I told them that I'm confused. You know, you guys were so interested in the car. You were paying a decent offer. We've gotten better ones, but a decent offer. And I was just like, what happened? Like now all of a sudden you guys find out what I do and you just want to basically buy me and not the car. And they were like not saying anything. They were kind of ghosting me because I was kind of catching on to them, making them, realize that what they're doing is probably not the way to do it. But then I was also curious. I was like, I wonder what the job position even is. So I just asked him. I was like, what's the job? He said, oh, I'll talk to the guy, that I wanted to originally talk with. He was like, oh, I'll talk to him and I'll let you know. He never got back to me. But that situation in its entirety was very crazy to me. I guess I am doing something right here. I always thought that I was kind of, working away in the shadows. No one no one would really care. No one would really, be that impressed with me. I kind of just thought that I was like I don't know. I just didn't really think that that would be something that would happen to me. That one was weird though. That was one of the weirder things, that a dealership all the way across the country wanted to give me a job with just all they saw was just like a YouTube channel, and they were like, oh, we want to give you a job, because they were that impressed. And I was just like, am I really that impressive? I'm like, I don't think I'm that impressive. I was just so confused. I don't really see myself as that kind of a person where somebody would be so impressed with me like that. And strange also. But I do wonder if I should drop the dealership's name. I can't decide if what they were doing was a nice thing or a bad thing, because they were going to buy the car, and then once they found out who I was, they completely dropped that idea and just wanted to buy me instead. So I don't know if I should drop the dealership name or not, but maybe I should stay away from dealerships for a couple of days, because we haven't been having the best of luck with those guys. Camaro's here to stay. I want to clear that up. Camaro's here to stay. I was just this was like from months ago. I just wanted to put those offers in to see what people would pay. And it was a decent offer, gotten better ones, but it was a surprising offer. Like the car itself, the offer on the car itself was decent, but then the offer in its entirety was a very surprising and shocking offer. I still, literally talking about that story, I still can't believe that. Like that to me is just, like what? Like imagine going to a dealership and telling them, hey, I want to sell you my car. And they're like, cool. And they're like, can you tell me a little bit about it? And then you're like, yeah. And then you tell them a little bit about it. And then they're all like, man, get that car out of here. We don't want to buy that anymore. We want to buy you. Excuse me? Hello? And then the fact that I had to, like, they were not stopping with that. I had to keep brushing them off, like being like, I'm not going to work for you. And work for you is a crazy term. Like, I don't want to work with you or work at your dealership. Like, I don't know, the way they worded things was crazy. And the other messages that they sent were crazy. Like the ones where they were saying that the guy that I want to talk with is not going to talk to me. He was like, oh, he's not going to talk to you, or we're not going to give you his number. Like, dude, I'm a customer like everybody else. I want to talk to a guy who's going to buy the car. You know, I want to make sure that everything is met, and I want to tell them the way that I want to tell it. I don't want someone else to tell the story because they might not get all the facts right. So I want to tell it the right way. So I wanted to talk to him like everybody else gets to talk to him. So that was really weird. So that does it for that story. That one was pretty interesting and pretty crazy, guys. Definitely one of the weirder things, more surprising and flattering and interesting things. I'm still shocked. I still don't know why I would be the one to get a job offer like that in that situation. That was one of the craziest situations to even introduce a job offer, which is crazy, but also kind of rude to do it the way that they did it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you like any of the builds, if you guys like the channel, or if you just like me, then be sure to go down below, hit that like button, there's a shiny red subscribe button that you should click, and also have my Instagram channel linked down below with a little banner right over here. So be sure to go check that out too and drop a follow if you do. But thank you all so much for watching, and Christmas is right around the corner, guys, but I will see you all on December 22nd. Bye!